I've never seen Extreme Cheapskates as bad as the ones in this video.
The last time I bought underwear was 1998. I'm a big fan of free samples.
My name is Mark. I was wondering if you'd mind if I tossed in a few articles with your laundry?
No.
Each person only takes 2 showers every week for 10 minutes.
We're going to lose one of our testicles.
We're going to replace one of our testicles for the money. Yes.
Hello, you gorgeous donuts. I know that you, just like me, like to save money where you can. However, some people take it too far. And these people often go onto a TV show in America called Extreme Cheapskates. And like the title sounds, this basically documents people that really do the most to save every little penny in their bank account. For example, to show you how far some people in this show go, some people make homemade toilet paper. They eat food from garbage bins despite being able to afford it from a shop. And some people in this show even share a family toothbrush and family dental floss. Just like we all do, right? That's why my teeth are knackered. Now in this video, we're going to have a look at 3 of the worst extreme cheapskates that ever appeared on this show. And genuinely, these will leave you gobsmacked. I can't believe how these people save money. And I want you to decide in the comments at the end of this video who you think is the most insane and extreme in their methods. So let's get into it. The first cheapskate that we're meeting is Angela. Now, she is a single mother of 2 and she does just about anything to save every single penny in her account. And she often puts this onto her children as well. Their children aren't allowed to throw away their rubbish when they're at school. They have to bring it back so she can reuse the packaging.
My mom wants me to bring back milk cartons, plastic bags, and any leftover food that I might have from lunch.
Straight away, I'd be like, Mum, have a day off, love. I'm not doing that. Imagine, you know, you're at school, you've got your packed lunch, and everyone's throwing away the rubbish, and you're just taking it all out and putting it in your own bloody lunchbox. The amount of piss that would get taken out of you, you'd have none left, man. Now, you know, on this channel, I am very protective over children, and I hate when, you know, parents sometimes put their own kind of toxic things into their children without even knowing, just because they think it's the right thing to do for them, without thinking the impact that this could have on their children, especially when they grow up, because they're going to take this into their adulthood, and the cycle will just never end.
Sometimes my friends wonder why I don't throw away my milk cartons or why I don't throw away my plastic bags like they do. I think it's kind of weird.
To be fair, you could just say, well, it's a hobby. Oh, are you taking the piss out of a hobby? I don't take the piss out of you for playing Xbox, mate. What's wrong with collecting milk cartons? To be fair, there's children in my family that I know used to collect Prime bottles. I feel like that's the same thing, right? And put them on display. That's basically just putting a used bottle on display for some unknown reason. You can get away with this, surely. Although I do wonder the health risks with this. Obviously, like, milk goes off, and if you don't clean it properly, the remains of, like, off milk, I definitely feel like it can be contaminated. Now, Angela reuses these milk cartons so she can store household items in them. As we all do, literally for Valentine's Day, I bought Chloe a bouquet of roses. I'm not putting that in a vase, right? Not when I've got a used milk carton there. She'll get what she's given, all right? I give her the full fat carton as well, okay? Really treating her. No skimmed in this house. However, milk cartons aren't the only thing that Angela reuses.
I drink tea every morning. I can reuse that tea bag a couple of times. When I'm done with that, I can use it to scrub dishes.
Oh, love, now you're taking the biscuit. You've went too far this time, love. Reuse tea bags? Like, I've never even heard of that. I'm not trying to be, you know, insensitive to anyone that does do that. You know, I guess a second time you probably could. But, like, using the same tea bag every morning, like, for the entire week, surely the last cup of tea of the week's gonna be bloody dreadful, right? Imagine someone comes over, do you want a cup of love? Yes, I do. And you give them that. They'll never come back, man. And why would you reuse them as washing the dishes? You won't need any seasoning in this house because everything tastes like PG tips.
When it gets to the point where it's falling apart with that, I take it and I boil the leaves, and then I use that to clean my floors.
I wonder if there is some sort of, you know, obvious thing underlying here. Like, I know I'm taking the mick out of it and looking at it at a surface level, but we are going to deep this as we get into the video. Clearly, these people feel attached to things and they just can't let go, because nobody that is able to let go of things does this. Why do you need to extract everything out of this tea bag until there's nothing left of it? Imagine being a tea bag on a shelf, right? You're with all your mates in the tea bag kind of bag, you know, you're wondering which home you're going to go to, and then Angela picks you up. Really got the graveyard shift there. there.
And I can probably save about $75 a year using that tea bag.
I understand you're saving $75 a year, and if you do that in other areas, it can all build up. I understand the logic behind it, but there is a point where you kind of have to look at it and go, is the money I'm saving worth my house being dirtier than it would be if I just actually paid that money and, you know, I just kind of got rid of all of the mess and all of the germs that were in my home? I feel like sometimes you do need to bite the bullet and just pay the money for the cleaning products. Angela also sets her and her children some very strict rules around the house so that she can save even more money, and one of those is limiting shower time.
An average 10-minute shower in Colorado costs 45 cents on my water bill.
Bro, this would have been my nightmare as a child. You know, to anybody that was sad as a kid, going in the shower is one of the few releases you get of getting away from everybody. That was my favourite time of the day, just sitting in the shower. And then I've got a timer next to us. Oh, I'd feel like I was in the Dark Knight or something and a bomb was going to go off after it. Again, tactics like this, I feel like as a child, it kind of puts you on edge all of the time because in your own home, you feel like you're walking on eggshells. And that's going to create like this anxiety inside yourself that you're always wondering like, oh, can I do this? Am I all right doing this? Whereas you should be comfortable in your home to go in the shower and not have a timer next to you. Like everything in your life doesn't have to be timed to the exact second. I just think Angela only sees things from her point of view, and she puts saving money above anything else in her life, even above her children.
Each person only takes 2 showers every week for 10 minutes.
The shower schedule cuts Angela's water.
Tell you what, love. Right, you've bought a calendar there just for the shower time. Just saying that's not a good use of money, love. If it was me, personally, I would have remade the tea bags into a calendar and I would have put my finger in the tea and crossed off the shower times if we were really about that life right now. Clearly you're not. Right, just an amateur. Just a casual extreme cheapskate, right? Not like me, love. Normally I would mock them for only cleaning themselves, I guess, 2 times a week, but, you know, their floors are insanely clean because of the tea bags, so they're not really going to get that dirty, so this is understandable. No, it's not! What happens if you have, like, a hobby, like you play a sport, but you've already used up your 2 showers of the week? You just have to stink for the rest of the week? That's not fair! Is there, like, a wild card when you get a 3rd shower of the week? Why is this so strict? Now, later in this video, we do get to see what Angela is like with her kids when they leave the house, and trust me, it is so much worse. But before we see that, we then meet our second cheapskate of the video, Kate from New York. Now, unfortunately for Kate, she lost her job during the .com crash, so this is where she learned to be very, like, frugal with her money and kind of make her money kind of last longer, obviously, because when you don't have a job, your money is very tight. And you do find various methods that do help to make your money last longer. Since she lost her job, Kate has never gotten a job again, and this has meant that her money saving techniques have become more extreme and extreme every single year.
If I use a paper towel in the public restroom, I'm drying off hands that I washed clean, so I keep them and reuse them.
Love, no. Let's have a word with myself. Right? I understand. You look at the paper towels, you're like, oh, get in. Free towels. I'll take them home. But you don't do that, love. Just put them in the bin. You don't know where they've been, man. You don't know the journey they've had to get to there. Right? Someone could have wiped their arse with the... You don't know. You would hope not, but I wouldn't take it home with you, is what I'm saying. Also, if you're going to take, like, 1 sheet, you might as well take the whole roll, no? Like, jump in with 2 feet. Don't just dip your toe into the pool. If you really wanted to make money, Kate, you could probably take the entire roll and then just sell it to people in the bathroom. What else are they going to use?
I furnished my place, picking up discarded furniture on the street. I would say I probably saved at least a couple $1,000s on furniture.
Do you know what? I actually don't think that this technique is that bad. Like, yes, obviously it's in with loads of rubbish, so it looks pretty bad, but I've done this before in a different kind of extent, I guess. Like, when people are throwing things away and it's outside of their house and they're like, anybody want this? Like on Facebook, I've done that before where you pick up a chair and you're like, this is for free, I might as well take it. And before I started YouTube to get money, I actually used to pick up things that people were throwing away and kind of fix them up and then sell them on eBay or whatever platform, you know, the thing belonged on. So I don't think this is that bad, even though some people might be watching this going, oh my god, that is vile. It does mean that you probably don't have a theme to your house though, you know, everything is just kind of mismatched, but hey, as long as you've got a seat to sit on. And I guess you're also giving, you know, the chair like an extra lease of life. I know it doesn't have a heart or it's not a human or anything, like you don't need to have an emotional attachment to it, but you're making that, you know, go to a happy home. Am I being too weird here? It's not a dog. Eventually we will have to put the chair down and it'll be a very sad day. It then shows us around her apartment so we actually get to see what it looks like with all this bits of furniture in.
I got all the furniture that I have either off the street or from hand-me-downs from other people. This is my makeshift couch.
I mean, it's got a little bit of character. You know, the old kind of bin bag matched with the, you know, whatever that is on the right. You put that in Barker and Stonehouse, that's about $3,000, my friend. I am intrigued why one is wrapped in a bin bag and one is still in the wrapper.
I found this in the trash outside the school dorm. It's also my guest bed when people visit.
Sorry. I respect that you're doing this, Kate, but if I came around to your house and you were like, oh, here's your bed for the night, I'd be like, I'll take the floor. I'll take the floor's fine. What, you got that mat from a school? It looks like a gym mat. Like, have you cleaned that? You know, like people's bare feet have been... I'm okay, Kate, you know? I don't want to wake up with a generational case of pink eye. I'm okay, okay? The floor is fine for a night. She did move on quickly without explaining why everything is wrapped up, which makes me think, you know, she hasn't actually cleaned the inside of it. She just prefers to wrap it up and act like it's not there, which is a bit worrying, not gonna lie.
I do consider my bed comfortable, and I don't really have a need for a real bed.
Now, a lot of people, you know, I've done it before, have slept on a mattress without a bed frame. You know, some people enjoy doing that, some people don't. But again, like, a yoga mat, I feel like that's just not healthy, love. And also, like, you know, a lot of sweat has been on that from people that you will never ever meet. And it was also in a bin at one point, and you're not like wrapping the bed sheets around it. You know, a lot of it is exposed. And even sleeping on the floor in general isn't the cleanest thing to do, because, you know, you're literally on the floor. And this is where sometimes I do have an issue with these people when they can't afford to, you know, have an upgrade, but by choice they choose not to. Because a lot of these people are putting their health at risk. Like, you're not seeing like immediate health, you know, negativities from this, but over the years, if you keep on doing this is going to take years off your life.
The place came with a dishwasher. The dishwasher is a waste of water and energy, so now it's just storage space.
Do you know what? I was like, oh, okay, a dishwasher. Okay, we've leveled up, Kate. We're getting fancy now, okay. I wasn't familiar with your game, Kate. This is fantastic. But you're using it as a cupboard? What? And you're keeping an electric stove in it? This is kind of funny. To be fair, when you have a smaller kitchen, you do need to make use of the space, and I guess having a dishwasher in a smaller kitchen isn't, you know, the most practical thing, because you need the cupboard space. But I don't know if I would use it as a cupboard, love.
$17 a month just for having the gas turned on. Now the stove is a storage area.
But that's another kind of thing that she's kind of contradicting herself there, because she does all of these methods to save loads on her bank account, obviously, but she doesn't cook. And unless she like dumpster dives, which we'll see later in this video, cooking is a lot cheaper than buying like ready-made meals, because obviously you can kind of like bulk buy the ingredients, and it means it can last you longer, which means you can use the dishwasher once in a while if you want to, love, and not use the gas top oven as another cupboard.
And I also have some magazines here to use it as a table.
I feel like you're going to die one day, love, in this apartment. From what I've seen there, I think she stores the microwave inside of the oven. Already just a little bit of, you know, a health risk there. And then you put newspapers on top of the gas stove. I know the gas stove is turned off, but you're just asking for a fire here. Imagine watching this, knowing you live next door to this woman. You would be petrified for your life. It's also very dangerous to do this in an apartment block as well, because you're not just kind of putting yourself at risk, you're putting everyone else at risk. Now, if you think this was bad, you have seen nothing yet from Kate, as she says that she no longer buys new underwear. She knows the date that she last bought new underwear, and it was in 1998, which, by the way, it was the year I was born. I know, unk status, awful. The fact that there's a 1 in front of the year I was born. I'm finished, guys. I'm over, okay? I'm officially not cool anymore. I mean, I never was, so that's fine.
The last time I bought underwear was 1998.
I remember the day well. I marched into Ann Summers and I picked one up and went, that one's coming home with me.
I got these shorts on sale in 1999. I think it was $15.
She really went, you know, absolutely mental between 1998 and 1999. She bought a pair of underwear and a pair of shorts. Love, who let you off the leash? Bloody hell, I think you might have an addiction here, love. Someone call the fire brigade. This woman is on fire. To be fair, it makes sense that she bought a lot in like 1998 and 1999, because the dot-com crash crash was in 2000, so this would have been when she was working and had like a constant amount of money coming in her account. And look, I'm all for reusing your clothes, obviously, you know, helping save the environment, not throwing away clothes once you've worn them once, which, you know, some people do. But you are allowed to buy new clothes when the ones you have are falling apart. Like, when you can see the entire sole of your foot through your socks, it's fine to buy a new pair. That's okay, love. You know, no one's going to judge you for that. And if they will, they can speak to me about it because I think they've got their own problems. Now, things get even worse when Kate says she's never spent money on toiletries. She only uses free samples.
Contact lens solutions, toothbrushes, toothpaste, free samples of deodorants, free samples of razors. I'm a big fan of free samples.
To be fair, kind of genius, not gonna lie, Kate. I kind of want to follow in your footsteps here. She's got about 20 toothbrushes there. She won't need another toothbrush until the day she dies, man. This is kind of genius, and you get to try all of the products for free. Kate, I am with you on this. Can I come with you to the next event? Now, speaking of cleaning, Kate doesn't do any laundry. Instead, she washes her clothes while she's in the shower. You know, killing two birds with one stone, I guess.
Once I'm done showering, then I lather up the clothes. I almost never do laundry. I think the last time I did laundry was maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say 1998 again, love, and I would have been like, Christ, you had a jam-packed schedule in that year. How did you fit anything in? Now, again, this isn't very healthy. Like, you know, she lets the water fill up almost like it's a bath as well, so it's all over her feet and her legs, and that's full of bleach, laundry detergent, you know, stuff that shouldn't really be on your skin. That's probably why our socks have degraded so much, because our feet are just constantly burning. Kate then tells us some of our other hygiene habits.
I dry myself off with one of the paper towels I have. Wipe myself down with the soap, and I take the water and rinse off the soap.
Did we need a tutorial? Why did they ask her for a tutorial? I don't need to know the steps. Oh, really, Kate? Yeah, right. And then you do that with the soap. Gonna try that. Thank you very much, love. Can you imagine? You know, you go over to Kate's and you obviously had a lovely night on a couch, which is from, you know, a school gym. And then you go in the shower and you're like, oh my God, Kate has put out a free water bottle for me. And then you realise that it's actually what she uses to wash herself after a piss. Probably not going to be your proudest moment. Now, later in this video, we do get to see some of Kate's friends come to our house and experience some of Kate's habits. But before we see that, we need to meet our last cheapskate of the video. This man is called Mark, and he is from Las Vegas. Now, our first impression of Mark is seeing him rummage around a restaurant looking to see if anybody has dropped any loose change.
My name is Mark Parisi, and I'm Las Vegas's biggest cheapskate.
Yeah, I don't think that's something to be proud of, my friend. Like, this is what kind of doesn't annoy me, but it does kind of confuse me. People that don't need to do this. Like, obviously, if, you know, you're homeless or you have just no money at all, I can understand, you know, you're in desperate needs doing this. But when you have a house, you know, he has a dog here, he's been able to afford a suit. Clearly, the guy's doing okay. Why do you do this? What do you actually get out of this? Like, there's got to be something underlying that they've been dealing with from, like, being a child, which has got them to this position, into them thinking that this is a normal thing for them to do. Now, out of all of the cheapskates we see, I definitely think Mark's techniques are having the most detrimental effect on his health. Like, the only food he buys is discounted food, which obviously is fine. However, Mark takes it one step further by getting this discounted food because it's always out of date.
Regarding expiration dates.
Tortillas, 50 cents. Cupcakes, 50 cents. Peanut butter and jelly, $1.
Oh, hey, pushing the boat out for the peanut butter and jelly there, son. You sure you didn't go too far that day? But like you saw, the first product they showed was the chicken breast, which was out of date by, you know, a hell of a while. I understand it when it's not something that's like meat or something, you know, like chocolate or something, I guess you can kind of get away with more. But when it's like meat and stuff like that, you're playing a dicey game here, sir. Is it worth it? Is the pound you saved worth the potential health risks down the line? Mark also saves money on water by going down to the laundromat, which basically is in America, is where there's loads of washing machines and you can wash your machines at a place. We don't really have them in the UK, or they're not really that popular. But he doesn't do this the normal way like every other American. He actually asks if he can put his clothes into other people's washing cycles.
Would you mind if I throw in some laundry with you? Just a few things, not a lot. Maybe a few things?
No.
Okay.
Why did he look at him as if he was the idiot there? Really? What, they're all clothes. Are you stupid? They all go in and come out the same way, son. I just think this is a really mucky thing to do. Like, I would say I'm quite a nice person. But if I was at this sort of thing and someone went, oh, do you mind if I stick my clothes in with you? I'd be like, yes, I actually do. I don't know you. You could be disgusting. I don't know what's on your clothes, you dirty devil. Like, I just think that's really weird. Like, just pay for your own clothes. Like, Mark clearly has money. You know, his house is a big size. He has a car. Like, the guy's able to afford, like, everyday things. And the people that he might be sharing with might actually have less money than him. This is why I actually get more annoyed at Mark, because I feel like he's just taking advantage of people for his own gain.
My name is Mark. I was wondering if you'd mind if I tossed in a few articles with your laundry?
No.
Do you mind if I throw in some laundry with you?
Oh, mate, man, go away. No. Nobody wants your clothes. I don't want anything that has been near your rear end when you've ate out-of-date chicken that has been out of date for a few months. I'm not taking that. Whatever is in your clothes has the potential to create the next worldwide pandemic, my friend. I'm not having no part of this.
Do you mind if I throw some laundry in with you? Just a few items?
Hey, go ahead. It's just knowing how to stretch your money, knowing how to make extra money.
See, that's what I mean. Like, he doesn't need to do this. He's just doing this because he just loves the game. He just loves saving pennies where he can, at the expense of other people, getting other people to do his thing so that his money lasts longer. The guy's cruel, especially when you see clips of him like this walking through Las Vegas with his suit on and he looks like a really successful businessman or something. Now, even though Mark doesn't like to spend his own money, one thing he does love to do is gamble, and he always goes to Las Vegas to, go on the slot machines and everything. However, he finds really creative ways to not use his own money, as he only uses money that he has found somewhere, like in the street or in restaurants or whatever, and he only goes on the $5 penny slots.
If I went to a bar, the drink would cost me $12 to $15. But by coming to a casino, I play the penny slot, win money, and drink for free. This is what $1 can do.
Can you imagine going on a date with this fella, man? It must be an absolute nightmare. It must be hell. I guarantee, like, if you didn't finish your drink and you were on a date with this guy, he would try and sell it to the other tables before you leave, just so that he can take you to these penny slots and give you some of the money that he's earned. Now, when we see Mark later on in this video, he takes things to a level that nobody should ever take it to. Before we see that, we head back to Angela, who has decided to take one of her daughters and her daughter's friend on holiday. Hopefully not to meet Mark, otherwise, like, my multiverse of madness within the Extreme Cheapskates world is going to be screwed. That would have been a horrific Avengers movie. They all come through the portals. It's the guy with homemade toilet paper. Oh, look, it's the guy that asks other people to do his washing for him. You're fucked now, Thanos. Now, you're probably thinking, why is Angela, brought one of our kids' friends on holiday, because that's going to be a lot more money? Well, her daughter's friend's parents are actually paying for her on the holiday, so Angela doesn't have any expense for this child. And even though they're going away on holiday, and this is one time where you can probably, you might have saved up a bit of money, you can spend a little bit money than you would usually when you're home on, like, restaurants or doing whatever. However, Angela again takes all of her Extreme Cheapskates methods on holiday with her, and she refuses to spend any money when they're out.
Airline regulations allow people to bring food on the plane as long as it is dry. Wet food and liquids must be stored in 3.4-ounce bottles.
Sorry. Genuinely, if I was going on holiday with my mother and she was doing this, I'd rather she just brings a gun onto the plane. It would be less embarrassing. At least I know where I stand with this. Why is she liquidizing everything? Like, imagine being the friend. You'd be like, I don't think I want to come on holiday with you guys anymore. I think I'm good at home. And the constant theme with Angela is her extreme cheapskate habits definitely have such a detrimental effect on her children. Like, because she's taking so much food with her and she's liquidized it all, the kids actually have no room to put their own clothes in their own suitcases. And because of this, Angela comes up with a creative way that they can take their clothes.
So the only real way to get our clothes to Las Vegas is to wear them all. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, if my mom was swapping my clothes in my suitcase for some liquidized chicken goujons, I'm calling Childline. Not a chance, love. I'd be like, look, I'll go hungry. Can I please just take a change of trousers? That is fine. Also, you have to really trust your friend as well, because imagine making your friend do all of this. They're going to go and tell everybody at school that your mother made them wear all of their clothes to go on holiday onto the plane. That's you finished.
I've never had to travel with all my clothes on. I really thought that's what the purposes of suitcases were.
You wanted
to go. This is what we have to do.
But even that, it's a little bit manipulative, the way that she's like, well, you wanted to go. It's like, yes, but I clearly didn't read all of the terms and conditions. I didn't realise there was so much small print with this holiday. Must liquidise all food, must wear all clothes on the plane. Sorry for not realising that is part of the standard package with this holiday. Wouldn't have signed up if I knew that. To be fair, I feel like this is something that Ryanair possibly will introduce into the future, that you have to wear all of your clothes and you're not allowed to bring a suitcase. But before we see the monstrosity that is that holiday that is happening, we then catch back up with Kate, who has invited her friend Matt, who she's known for quite a while, around to her house. And Matt also brings his girlfriend Rose over, so Kate has to entertain 2 guests in her home. Now, normally when you invite some friends round, you might cook for them, or you all might get a takeaway if it's on the night time. However, Kate has a very different way of doing things.
I thought this would be a chance to introduce them to dumpster dive food. I have been eating dumpster dive food regularly for 2 years.
You've got to be joking, love. Not when you've got guests round. You know, if you feel comfortable, eating dumpster dived food, that is completely on you, okay? You're not harming anybody else but yourself. This is on you, love. When you invite people round and you also give them that dumpster food, I just think that's a little bit off, love. Like the food. If I went round to a friend's house and he served me food that was once in a dumpster, I don't think I can call him a friend. I think I will now refer to him as an enemy, and I would also delete his number. If I also was someone that participated in, keeping dumpster food in my fridge, then I feel like it's fair game. But when that's not what I've been doing, throughout time, I do feel like it's a little bit too far for me. I just wouldn't feel comfortable with it. Your immune system might be able to handle this. I'm new to this. I'm a virgin to this. I don't know what's coming. Odd choice of word there. Now, Kate has apparently been doing this every single day for the last 2 years. She used to spend $20 a week on food, and she said that's far too much. Now, for people in the UK, that would be about £14 a week, which I don't think is too bad for like a weekly food shop for just yourself. I feel like that's pretty reasonable, no? You know what? I actually think that's really good. That's like, what, an average of £2 a day? Kate says she could have afforded it, but she just didn't want to do it anymore. And then we get to see Kate preparing this dumpster dived food for her guests, and I've never wanted some guests to cancel more in my life than right now.
Store managers don't want us dumpster diving. But if I dress up like a bum, hopefully the store managers will have more sympathy and leave me alone.
Bro, so is she cosplaying as a homeless person to steal the food that homeless people would normally get? This woman is just not right. It's the wording she's using as well, like calling them bums. Like, I would never call anyone that word anyway, but if you're calling, like, the people that do this bums, surely in turn, you're a bum. You are the bum. You are the final boss bum because you don't need to do this, but you choose to do it. You're a bum by choice, I can't believe she's cosplaying as a homeless person just so people feel sorry for her. This is so insane, genuinely. Bearing in mind, Kate's guests have no idea that she does this. Could you imagine you used to work with Kate, or you went to school with her and you were like, I'm just gonna, go on Facebook, check what Kate's up to. Oh, well, now I feel a lot better about my own life. We then get to see cosplaying as a homeless person.
It's time to go dumpster diving. I go dumpster diving in the trash of upscale grocery stores.
Why did she say that like she was an influencer? Get ready with me to cosplay as a homeless person and go dumpster diving. Honestly, guys, I look forward to this every single week. Can everybody leave their comments where you want me to dive next? Genuinely, there's probably an influencer out there that has done that, shockingly, or not.
These stores often throw away a lot of very high quality foods, including organic foods and really nice prepared foods.
Love, it's not even wrapped. It's not even wrapped, love.
These are very expensive and I would never spend money on these foods.
Do you know her doing this? Isn't she kind of blowing her cover? Like, you'd never see Batman going on, a documentary and being like, by the way, this is what I look like. I do this just to kind of dress up, I just get a little bit of a kick out of it. Because then he's revealing his identity. And then people would be able to kill him when he's not Batman. I'm not saying Kate and Batman have, a lot of similarities, but there definitely is a few. No!
I'm looking for clean, sanitary food.
I mean, you're lying, because that wasn't pre-packaged, that tomato, or them lettuce leaves, or the grapes. They were all out in the bin bag, and you don't know what laid beneath them. Genuinely, there could have been anything. You don't know how long they've been in these bin bags either. I just keep thinking about her guests that are going to have to eat this food. I wonder if she is going to reveal this to them. Surely you have to. I feel like there has to be some consent here. You can't just feed these people to the wolves like this.
I eat dumpster dive food that sometimes has been expired for months or even years.
Yes. you say, love? You eat food that has been out of date for years. Here's me debating whether to eat something when it's just out of date for one day. This bastard's eating stuff that's out of date for decades. What am I worrying about? Honestly, I'll wake up and bread will be out of date by like 1 or 2 days and I'm like, how hungry am I? This is absolutely mental. This just cannot be healthy. It just can't be healthy. I think there's something that we're not really kind of, thinking about here, guys. Maybe Kate is the first invincible person, like the first immortal woman. Maybe she can't die. Maybe she's eating the out-of-date food so that we don't have to. She's carrying the load so that we can live normally. She's walking so we can run.
Hey, excuse me, miss, you can't do that.
Dressing up as a bum didn't work this time. Although it didn't really scare me because once the trash hits the curb, it is public property.
Social footprint is a real thing, Kate. And if you ever do go and get a job one day and somebody does a background check on you, this is going to show up, And the wording that you're using and the acts that you're doing, I just don't feel like this is going to reflect well on you in the future. I just don't like the way that she says bums, thinking that she's better than people just because she actually has a house. Now, when she's back at her apartment, Kate actually says that normally when she's by herself, she'll just eat the food straight out the carton. However, because there's guests coming, she is going to heat it up. Guests are getting the premium experience here. Kate's pulling out all the stops.
If friends or family want to go out to a restaurant, I try to talk them out of it. I would go only if they would pay for my meal.
Yeah, that doesn't make you a nice person. So you basically blackmail them into having your presence as long as they pay for you. Yeah, that's not a good trait to have, love. Say it's one of your parents' birthdays and they just want you to come, like you only come if they pay for you. Do you not just think that's a little bit weird? Also, worryingly, there's about 3 different, meats in there. And they'll all have different cooking times. And she's just shoved it all in. Again, this might not even be cooked through. It's just health risk after health risk building up. I honestly can't wait to see how her guests are actually going to react to this food. I don't think too well. But before we see that, we then catch up with Mark back in Las Vegas. Just quickly, by the way, if you haven't already, please press the subscribe button, because if you haven't, what are you doing? Then you get to join the best community on the internet, the Donuts, and you've got plenty of videos like this to binge watch when you've got nothing to do. Now, you're probably wondering how Mark actually makes his money. Well, he does this in peculiar ways. One of the major ways he does is by participating in medical trials. If you don't know what that entails, basically doctors will get a group of people and pay them individually so that they can test medical procedures on them for the first time and see their reaction. So you're basically being a test dummy. Obviously, that comes with some huge health risks. Now, you're probably thinking that I'm just going to clown on this. However, I have actually, I've done this myself. I don't know if anybody knows that. I feel like I've mentioned it on my Reacts channel once or twice. When I just moved out when I was 18 and I was renting a room in a house, I was really struggling for rent, and my rent was £200 a month, and the hospital that was where I was from was offering these kind of trials and these procedures, and they would give you £200 for it. So I was basically well, if I do one of these, that's my entire month sorted for rent. That was all bills included. I don't know why I'm trying to sell this to you. Don't worry, I don't get a kickback if you do join up to them. I'm not involved in this, okay? Now, they weren't as intense as people injecting things into you. Luckily, I did ones that were a little bit more mild, such as there was one where trainee doctors would practice with the ultrasound machine, when you're looking to see your baby when you're pregnant. I don't know why they would choose a guy to do that, because obviously I would not have been pregnant, but it's just for them to test it. But I remember it being so embarrassing because some of the doctors would put the ultrasound thing really far down, and it would be next to me bits, and it was just the most awkward thing ever, genuinely. And I did it for Friday to Sunday, so it was 3 days, and you got £200. Looking back, it was embarrassing, but oh my god, that saved me so many times. Genuinely, I thought it was mint at the time, and you got a free dinner. So don't say that they didn't treat us, okay? Oh my god, sometimes I think back to that and I'm oh, that was a tough one. Random people just fondling with your bits. Anyway, that's enough of the story time, guys. It's never a video from me if there's not some childhood trauma in there.
What it is, it's a testicular study. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a testicle replacement and make $35,000.
You're going to have your testicles replaced?
One of my testicles, not both.
Oh, well, that's fine then. That's all right. If it's just the one. Oh, well, you don't need 2 of them, do you? Sorry, you're going to voluntarily get one of your testicles replaced so that they can do trials on it, so that you get £35,000. I don't know how much each testicle is. I'm not looking to sell them on eBay or Vinted anytime soon, but I think I'd be asking for more than £35,000. I don't know. You know? It's like if you've got two dogs, you can't separate them. They've been there since birth. It's just harsh. I don't know. I don't know. Guys, if anyone wants to start, you know, an auction, right, for one of my testicles in the comments, feel free. That's weird. 20,000, 30,000, 40,000's going once, going twice. No. Right, not doing that. Yeah, I just don't think there is a price for them, you know? I just kind of want to keep them there. You know, it's where they kind of belong. I don't feel like, you know, I should be selling them. You know, they're not up for sale. Nothing is here. Okay? This is a closed shop. Thank you very much. This is too far. Genuinely, like, I didn't do any trials like this. You know, nothing as insane as what this is. I can't believe you would give up one of your testicles for that amount of money. Like, obviously, it's a hell of a lot of money. You know, it's a lot of money and it can definitely help you. But he doesn't need the money. He's just doing this so that he can save on money in the future. It makes no sense. This is a negative investment, sir. Even if he was doing it so that he could help other people and, you know, they could, like, test on his testicle and, you know, other people's lives could be saved, that would be a good reason to do it. But when it's purely about the money, that's where I kind of worry for him.
Well, they give you an artificial one, so I'd still have 2 working parts.
Wait, they give you an artificial one? That's pretty cool, right? You know, you've just got one ball like a human, then you've got one like RoboCop. That's kind of cool. I like that. You've got a metal ball. Kind of cool. It's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's kind of cool. Now, Mark also benefits from these medical trials by keeping the scrubs that he wears during them and wearing them around the house a lot of the time, so he doesn't need to buy like loungewear. And he also wears them for exercise, so he doesn't need to buy gym gear.
Everyone was panicked when my friend and I did this study. Never tested on humans or animals before. $5,000 for a week. So why would I not do it?
Something about there, you know, the fact that this hasn't been tested on any human or animal yet. Something about that just kind of puts me off, you know. Little bit of a red flag. Even if like a couple of hundred people have had it done and they're okay, then I'd be like, okay, £5,000, let's have a little talk about this. But the fact that they don't know what's going to happen just kind of throws me off a little bit. I've got anxiety as it is, you know, I don't need this in my life. I even struggle ringing people, never mind getting this done.
The 2 studies that I'm waiting on that I have not been in yet, they stop your heart for 1 minute, pays $25,000. But the FDA kind of stepped in and stopped that.
Wonder why. Everything seems perfectly normal. What, you're going to stop the beat of my heart for a minute? Only a minute, right? I'm not going to miss out on much.
Mark participates in so many clinical trials, he gets free checkups every month to see if he's a good candidate for each study.
I love that they give him free checkups every month because they're not sure, like, what's going to happen to him. He's making this out as if it's a great thing, which it is, because I guess you're constantly getting your body checked, but there is a negative reason why they're doing this. But in a way, his addiction to, like, saving money, like, obviously medical care in America is not free. He probably does save a lot of money in medical checkups doing it this way. But again, I feel like this is just too much of an extreme method to do that.
We're going to lose one of our testicles.
We're going to replace one of our testicles for the money. Yes.
So,
You know, even when the doctor is trying to talk you out of it, who is, you know, participating with the study, that's when you know you probably need to just walk out of the room. Like I said, if the reasons were because he's been, you know, personally affected by it, or someone in his family has, and he wanted to kind of help, then it's a better motivation to do it, because you're never really going to regret it, because it's always been a part of your life. But once you spend that money, you're going to be wishing that you could get your testicle back, and you can't. It's gone. It's mush now. It's in a dumpster somewhere, and Kate's searching for it. After this, the doctor then does his tests on Mark to see if he has like a high enough testosterone level so that he's able to like participate in this experiment. However, Mark actually fails this because his testosterone is too low, so he can't participate in this trial.
but at the end of the day, you'll go home 2 for 2. You won't have your testicles taken out.
It's the way he's walking out with a straw. He's like, oh, God. Still got both me testicles? God, I feel so heavy. Can't a man have one testicle in this world?
Mark does manage to land a spot testing testosterone replacement.
Each one of these pills represents to me a car insurance payment.
Yeah, but the thing is with car insurance is, like, you have to pay it every single year. You know, like, you don't just finish paying it. It's forever. It's until the day that you stop driving. So are you going to be on this for the rest of your life? I really do worry for Mark. We are going to see at the end of this video where he is today. But I feel like out of all of the cheapskate, somehow he is having the most detrimental effects to his life in the future because he's putting stuff into his body that he has no idea about. Like, he's just accepted to do this because it was just given to him. He hasn't researched into it. He's just went home with the pills. Like, he puts no research into the things that's going into his body, and eventually this is going to come back to bite him. One day he's going to go one trial too far. Now, from one side of Vegas to the other side, Angela, her daughter, and her daughter's friend have now arrived in Vegas for their holiday, and on the way there, Angela is coming up with a plan so that they're able to get the hotel for free.
The cheapest way to get to our hotel is to take a free shuttle to a nearby hotel and walk the rest of the way to our hotel.
Sorry, if my friend's mom made me wear all of the clothes in my wardrobe that I'm taking on holiday, and then also said I was going to have to walk for miles to the hotel we're staying at, I feel like I'm well within my rights to just go home. Do you not realise how heavy I am right now, love? Walking is the last thing that I want to do. Now all of my clothes are going to be sweaty for the rest of the holiday. Now, going to Vegas, the main thing that Angela's daughter and her daughter's friend were looking forward to doing was all of the roller coasters. But of course, Angela thinks this is too much money and she doesn't allow them to go on them. And she's actually found something a lot different the girls can do for enjoyment. She's actually arranged for them to go to the water park, but they can only go in like the super off-peak time, which is like the cheapest time, so they have to like kill 2 hours before actually going there. So to make up for this, Angela actually treats the girls to a local buffet, as she promised they could go to a buffet before coming on holiday. Now you have to remember, this is really pushing the boat out for Angela. Like, she has brought all of her food, which she has liquidized for the entire holiday, so going somewhere like this is really out of her comfort zone.
It's $12.99 per person, including drinks.
Is it possible for us to just share one?
No.
So what can we do then?
Bro, like, what do you mean 3 people sharing off one plate? Why would you think they would allow that? Then everybody would just kind of try and just kind of work the system a little bit to get it cheaper. Honestly, I feel like $12.99, like with food and including drinks, and you get as much food as you want, I feel like that's pretty decent, especially in like a touristy place like Las Vegas. I don't think that that's that bad.
We just picked out just like 1 or 2 things over there. Can we buy them like individually?
If you like just get...
Look at her friend there. The friend like looked at the daughter like, are you taking the piss out of me, love? You've got us on camera and we're doing this in a restaurant right now. This is embarrassing even without the cameras. I'm never letting you forget this. I'm never letting you live it down. Obviously this is not the daughter's fault, but I just think it's so cruel from the mother to not just like push the boat out once. Like, they can clearly afford it. You're doing this just because for some reason something inside of you will not let you spend money. Why would you even walk into the buffet if you know that you're not going to pay for the food?
We each get 1 item and 2 egg rolls.
Just pay for the food!
1 item each, so choose wisely.
Better than our snacks.
Okay, ready to check out.
Ready?
To be fair, I think anything is better than liquidized food when you're not used to eating that. I do wonder what effect this will have on her child when she grows up, because I feel like her child, when she has her own kids, will want to be in a position where, you know, she can give her children whatever they want, because very clearly in her childhood she has been so restrained on what she can have. And I am trying not to be too harsh on the people that are the cheapskate in this video, because very clearly, you know, they're dealing with something internally that really messes up their whole moral compass when it comes to what they're cheapskating out on. But sometimes as an adult, you have to make the decision to just be like, look, this is going to cost a little bit more money than we would usually pay, but have we saved up for it? Yes. Okay, then let's do it. And let's give my child a memory of something that is actually good in their childhood. After this, the 2 girls finally are able to go to the water park, whilst Angela sits outside of the water park and eats her snacks that she brought from home. And weirdly, Angela thinks this is one of the best vacations they've had.
There's still a lot that we didn't get to do because obviously we were on a budget. So maybe next time, if we didn't want to do it as cheap, we'd come back again.
With your own money.
But even that, like her mother saying that little comment, it's just so bitter and it's like manipulative. Like, she's a child. How is she meant to have her own money at this point? She's just saying that she would have liked to have done more things in Vegas rather than just walking around the entire time. You know, even just buying sweets from a shop. Like, she would have just appreciated just something little that she can take home with her, or anything, just anything. The girls did nothing and cheapskated out on absolutely everything. Like, what is the point in going on holiday to somewhere like Vegas and not saving up up a little bit money to actually get things when you're there. I just really do feel sorry for the two girls, bless them. Although there is two people that I do feel a lot more sorry for, and that is the guests that are en route to Kate's house. As it's now time for her dinner party. Now, can you call this a dinner party? That's up in the air. Probably not. I'm being very generous there. Now, when Matt and his girlfriend Rose come to the house, bearing in mind this is the first time that Kate is meeting Rose, Kate gives them both a tour of her apartment.
My first reaction when I walked in was, whoa, this is really small and cluttered.
She didn't even make a bed, man. Like, where, love? You know? It's the little things, man. She's also got a cosplay uniform on the back of the door there, you know, just on full show.
This mattress was from a dorm dumpster dive. Stuff
Roaches on it.
But I do have the plastic bags over it, so like dust mites don't accumulate in there.
Oh, well, you know, I tell you what, I've been sitting down all day. You know, I need to be on my feet, love. You know, just keep the you know, the sciatica at bay, right? I'll stand up, love. I'll eat me tea standing up. Where did you get the tea from, by the way? You know, can you let us know? Just a little bit on edge at the moment, you see. First time we're meeting. I don't know anything about you. Kind of want to leave.
This stool, I also got off the street.
So you don't pay for any furniture?
No, I've never bought furniture before.
Why is she also standing at the door like that? Like they're not allowed to leave? Like this is... Honestly, I would be kind of a little bit on edge here. Because where would you sit, genuinely? Like there is nowhere to sit if you're not comfortable sitting somewhere that wasn't previously in a dumpster the previous day. I don't know how I feel about Kate. Like she seems like a nice person. She has kind of a nice energy. But then also she does things that just kind of pisses me off.
I'm dying in here. I need to like step out for a second.
I do not have air conditioning. I've heard of people with electric bills of a couple $100 a month in the summer.
To be fair, that's probably one way that she heats her food up, you know, when she wants to, you know, just puts it on the kind of windowsill. I recognise it, Kate, right? I can see the vision here, love. But I do think when people are coming over to your house for tea and they're nearly passing out because of the heat, you probably should install some sort of, you know, air conditioning. Use the money that you were going to pay for gas to pay for the air conditioning, you know? Kate then explains to the two other ways she uses to save money.
There are many upscale grocery stores in Manhattan. They throw out their food in trash bags on the curb.
That really bothers me.
You just saw them both look at each other and realise that the only reason they've came here is for tea. By, like, never pay for food. Do you mean like, oh, I never pay for food? Or I never pay for food? I just need to know before I do pick a seat in this establishment. Also, I am wondering, like, what's going on here with the kind of collection of water bottles? Is this her version of, like, collecting prime bottles? Surely that takes up a lot of space that could, you know, one day free the dishwasher from being a cupboard. Now, for some reason, Matt and Rose do stay for food, and then Kate shows them all of the stuff that she's dumpster dived for.
I thought this would be a chance to introduce them to dumpster dive food.
Oh my god.
It doesn't look very appetizing.
It doesn't.
The vegetables with turkey and chicken.
This looks like, you know, I don't know, it looks like some sort of like student accommodation. Like we've got one person sitting on a deck chair, one person sitting on some sort of like, I don't even know, like stool/puffy, and another person sitting on a desk chair that spins. On the lowest table I've ever seen. And why are we eating it straight out of the pan?
Go ahead, Matt.
Okay.
Braver man than me, son.
Guess I'll try a little bit of the turkey too.
Also, just picking up on this, why is Kate not going for any of the food? You know, she's letting them eat, and if you have seen any sort of thriller movie, whenever someone invites someone round for tea and they're not eating the food, chances are they're trying to poison them.
A little bit.
Oh, there we go, she's in.
Doesn't really taste like turkey. Oh.
Stop eating it! Genuinely, it's you might as well be on I'm a Celebrity right now with what you're eating. Why is it so silent? Stop eating the food! You don't have to be polite! The look on his face, he's like, yeah, this is the moment we know we fucked up coming here. That look to his girlfriend is like, should we just leave now? I do think that Kate and Matt were friends from work when Kate used to like work, like, you know, back in the day. I do think it would be sad for Matt to see Kate like this, and hopefully he can be there for her and just talk to her and just wonder, like, what is the reason why she is living this way? Like, is there something deeper? Like, is she actually really sad? Or what is the reason? Like, why isn't she going out there and working? Or if she is working and earning money, why is she choosing to kind of not spend any of that? There's got to be something beneath the surface here, why she's making these silly decisions.
Where did it come from?
The trash.
Oh. When I found out it came from the dumpster, I felt a little sick to my stomach.
Sorry, what, Matt, you didn't tell your girlfriend that you knew prior to going here that Kate always gets stuff from the garbage? And you decided to keep that from the woman that you love? Dump that man, Rose! Right now! Why would you keep such a thing away from your partner? I feel like that's one thing that you should mention prior to going to, your friend's house who, by the way, your partner has never met before. When we're eating there and I just know that all of the food has been thrown away by supermarkets and restaurants, it's out of a bin. I feel like that's fair to say before you enter, just so she knows what she's getting herself in for.
And here's some desserts.
Why is there just a mountain of muffins or whatever the hell this is? This is the weirdest concoction of desserts ever. Yeah, honestly, I'm not touching anything. If I am touching anything, it would probably be the grapes, because at least I can kind of assess the damage there. You don't know what is under the surface of that carrot cake. It's almost like the ocean. You don't know how deep and deadly it goes.
They look like they've been messed with. Chocolate cake too. There's stuff coming off of it.
Yes, it's disintegrating, love.
Guys like to try some carrot cake?
I think we're gonna get going.
Thanks for having this.
Oh, Kate, you fucking ruined it, love. You ruined it! If somebody tries a little bit of your dessert and you go, do you not want this other bit? And they go, I think we're going to leave. You know that you probably haven't done the best, If you want to come down with me, you're probably getting a 1-star here. You're not taking that money home with you, love. Oh, bloody hell. This was painful. This was awful.
I guess we'll be seeing you soon, hopefully. I would come back.
Oh, it's so awkward.
Hopefully I'll get to see them again, and I definitely won't be giving them any more dumpster dive food.
Yeah, I feel like they're not going to give you a text back after this, Kate, unfortunately. Not that you're a bad person, but I feel like, this was a bad decision from you. It's a little bit disrespectful to feed them food that was straight out of a bin. Kind of shows how much you appreciate them as friends. But with the other methods with Kate, fair play to her if she doesn't want to have the gas on, or if she doesn't want to use the dishwasher. All of those things, they're, just under her control, and it's only affecting her. But when she's bringing other people into it, that's where I have a little bit of a problem with it. And that is the end of the 3 stories, Donut. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I have done a bit of research into seeing where these people are today. Now, shockingly, Mark can't actually participate in any more clinical trials because of health reasons, because he's done so many now. They've actually had such a detrimental effect on him that he isn't able to do any more. The doctors won't let him. And very recently, Mark sadly had a stroke and is now on disability. Now, again, I'm not going to theorize that this is from, the trials or anything like that, because that's a horrific thing to go through. I know a lot of people might be thinking that. However, Mark does say that he doesn't think that his years of being kind of like a medical lab rat has had any effect on him now having a stroke and being on disability today. That's just his views. However, despite also having a stroke and being told by doctors, look, you can't do this anymore, he is always still looking for other ones to do. And I feel like this is an addiction at this point, because something like a stroke should really just make you kind of consider your life and put your health first. However, this hasn't really taught Mark anything. Now, the article I actually did find from Mark said that he does have both of his testicles still. However, this was 7 years ago, so who knows? He might have 3 by this point. And unfortunately, there is no concrete evidence of what Angela or Kate are doing today. It has been said that Kate didn't want to be in the spotlight anymore and she wanted to return to her normal life, doing a normal extreme cheapskate habits. And with Angela and her kids, they seem to just be living their own life as well. It's only Mark that did the article and wanted... I feel like Mark definitely wanted to be famous. That's why he came on the show. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, Donuts. If you do want me to make this a series, drop a like on this video. If this gets 9,000 likes, I'll do it. That lets me know that you enjoyed it. And if you want to watch a video that is even crazier than this one, go watch this video here, which has the most insane storyline from a TV show ever. It's a show called Catfish, where basically people are getting catfished online and they have to find out who's behind it. I'll see you over there. Bye bye.